Hi everyone, a quick movie about how I'm going to use the free software provided at Qt for movie making. It's Windows Live Movie Maker. If you click on the start button of your computer and you go to Windows Live Movie Maker, you'll get this program. This then, oops, got a bit too far then. This then sets up this project working space. You can see the video that you're creating over here, and you can actually upload some segments of video. I'm going to do that right now. So let's just imagine on my desktop I do have a few videos. I'm going to just select them at random and put them in this file. There we go. So I found a shorter video. I'm just going to add a couple more videos by coming to the Home tab, add videos or photos. It'll take you to your normally your desktop or wherever your files direct them to. I might grab this group presentation one as well. Hopefully it's not too long. That'll take a moment to load. Okay, so I've used that method to load up my different videos. I've just grabbed some random sections of things that I've been videoing. Yours will look a lot more interesting. You can see if I place the cursor anywhere on the movie, this slide over here is changing, and I can hit play just to find out what's going on that particular segment.
I'm actually a little bit disappointed that we haven't met any of the homework.
Okay, so that's how that particular part works. So if I was happy with these two clips and I just wanted to place them in a movie, that would be fine. I'd be ready to save. I might want to add titles, so I can add a title wherever my cursor is. So next bit, I might add a title up here. You can actually choose different auto themes. So I might want, see how it's giving me a preview over to the side. I might select that one. I might say no, not yet. And I can edit the text that's going to be in there. I can see how it's going to look. My movie's a bit boring, so I might edit that. You might also find that when you're self-recording, you've got little bits of yourself hopping up to get the camera and hopping back to your seat before you talk into the camera. So you might actually want to edit some of these pieces of video. So I'll come up to edit. I want to trim. Split is when you kind of need to cut something to put another bit of video in the middle. So let's say I got to this point and I needed to add a different view. Maybe I needed my supervisor to say something there. I might split it, and that would allow me to add an extra bit of video in that gap. I'll just undo that because I don't need to split that at the moment. What I might do is actually use the trim tool. So when you've got, this is just a segment of the film, and see how this bit is highlighted. I'm not going to be trimming any of this stuff down here. I'll just be trimming this segment up here about careers. Let's say I want to cut it right down. Actually, I'll keep the front. I want to get rid of the end part. Right down, 10 seconds of that. Yes, I'm happy with that. Save the trim. And then my next part I might trim as well, just for the sake of it. Trim. I've got a few little slides in there already, and I'll trim that down again to just 6 seconds. I'll just play that and see if I'm happy with it. So I take the cursor back to the front of the movie, hit play.
Yeah, so that critical piece of reflection, I was telling a story about one of the first groups that when I started to do.
Yeah, and that's something that you guys have already heard because you have definitely listened to the video that I assigned early on in semester. Alright, so let's save that trim. So now I have a very, very short video. Because I started to play around with the auto tools, I've got these extra directed, starring, filmed on location. I might like to delete these. So I can right click and remove them, right click and remove them. Directed by, that's not very important to me, I'll remove that too. Okay, so the next bit I need to make sure that's coming up the way I want it to. No, it keeps asking me about music. Oh dear. just be careful when you're organising things. Just undo. There we are. That's how I want my movie. Okay, so I'm going to take my cursor back to the front and play. It's got Erin's demo. It's got something very exciting about careers.
Hello everyone and welcome to week 4 of our PYB207 Psychology and Professional Context class. This week, Louise Hooper from QT.
There we go. You would have a much smoother transition than that, but the next bit.
So that critical piece of reflection, I was telling a story about one of the first groups that when I started doing service learning, the first chance I got to go out and see it happen was I was there to observe and learn from the facilitator. And
okay, we get the idea about that. If I wanted to add something, I might record from my webcam. Maybe I want to speak something very quickly to camera. So I would do some recording. Let's just practice that. So I'm practicing taking some recording from a webcam. Stop. That would ask me to save and then insert that file. So I can save it. It's inserting it for me. That's beautiful. There's also the possibility to add photos, so I could actually click add photos. I've got my samples library here, so I might select a photo and put that in just before, there we go, before my webcam part. When I'm happy with this, I might add music, but be careful with music because sometimes the volume is too loud, so use it, I guess, be really diligent about whether it's going to add anything. Once I'm happy with this, I mean there are other things, there's animations and transitions between your areas. I don't think that they're all very necessary. There's visual effects, so you can change some of the look. The project can be standard or widescreen, and I don't care, that's fine either way. And of course you've got your video editing tools. You can have a background color if you're using different frames like these errands and the next bit. Those sorts of things can be changed. Have a little bit of a look through the menus. If you've used Windows or Mac, you're going to get pretty used to it quite quickly, and Mac has a very similar way of making movies in their programs. Now here's the important part. While I'm working on it, I'll be saving this project, so I might save project as demo. I'll just save that on my beautifully busy desktop at the moment. And that's fine while I'm working on it, because every time I open that file, it'll take me back to Windows Live Movie Maker and it will give me all these options to do editing. However, when you come to submit it, you cannot give me a project. You can't give me that type of file because I won't be able to open it on my computer. So that's really important to note, okay? What you do need to do is, and also like I don't want to be playing people's projects, I want to play people's movies, so I need the movie file, the final movie file. This is how you do it. So down, publish movie, allows you to drop it onto YouTube and places like that. You can do that and send me the link if you're really having trouble submitting your movie. The best thing is to save the movie, okay? For computer is normally fine. You could go recommended for this project. That's based on how good the resolution is. So if you've been using the iPhone, it may give you a lower resolution. You could just decide to choose high definition display, and that's okay too. Don't choose any of the mobile devices, they're too small. Alright, so this is a movie file. Yay. And I'll save that onto my busy desktop as well. Okay, saving movie. So if it says saving movie rather than saving project, you know you're on the right track. It should take a little while to actually load. It should not be something that just magically, saves very quickly. That probably means you're only saving the project. Please make sure you send me the movie file. So the WMV, the MP4, the AVI file. Any of those formats is great. If it's a movie project, it just will not play on my computer, and also I don't want to have to see all your working behind the scenes. I want to open it up and play a beautiful movie. So this is just a little demo. It is quite fast, so remember you're watching it on video. You're welcome to pause and rewind as much as you want. There are lots of guides on the internet about how to use Movie Maker even more effectively, because I am just a beginner like you as well, so I have some ability, but I am certainly not the most amazing person. Be creative, be adventurous, and I think enjoy it. It's quite a fun skill to have. Alright, take care.